What's going on, everybody? This is Roster of the Misfit Effect. And of course, I'm always joined with my beautiful, wonderful, exotic, extremely talented, um, delicious co-host, Miss Sarah, Miss Sarah Lace.
I feel like every time you try to add like an extra adjective or something, like an extra description of me.
I have to, I
But
have
you
to,
know
I have to,
what?
I have to play around
What?
with it.
That's true. You do. You try to keep it nice and fun. So since you're pretty good at introductions, why don't you go and introduce Big Trey to us?
So this is Big Trey, my guy from the Midwest. He up here,
Yeah.
representing the avian hat, up here doing this thing. Used to be a bodybuilder, like that was his main profession. Now he out here
Mhm.
doing the thing, like slanging the thing. That that
Look at
that
the
giving that Michigan flavor to all the girls to get a taste of it.
Yes, sir. Detroit bad
thing.
boy. The Detroit bad boy.
So
Okay.
real quick for everybody who didn't catch the first episode that you were on, this is the second time on. Trey, tell us
Yeah.
about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm 43 now, going on 44 in about a month and a half. I'm formerly out of the fitness world. I did bodybuilding, personal training, own my own gym, pretty much everything you think of in fitness modeling, all of that shit. But it led to the next chapter, which was I was in the gym training clients and all of that, and met Prince Joshua, who recruited me into the industry. It was hard to not accept that challenge that he threw out there to me, knowing that he was a legend. Like I knew who he was the day he walked in the gym. I was like, oh, that's the old boy they used to see on the videos back in the day. It was with the Timberlands and shit. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know his name when he
Mhm.
walked in, but I knew him in by his look and everything. I was like, oh, that's old boy. He didn't have the Timbs on when he came in the gym, but I knew who the fuck it was, and then we just hit it off as neighbors and friends first, and then after a while of being friends is when he sort of like, recruited me into it and shit. So,
I
Hmm.
don't
uh,
think I've ever
Okay.
seen that man without Tim's on.
Yeah.
what tripped me out when I first seen him though was because the first time I seen him, he did have the Tim's on. That's when I met him. I seen him at our loft complex. And
Hmm.
I was asking my roommate, I was like, who the fuck is this dude out here with Timberlands on this 115 degrees? And it was like, oh, that's the porn dude and shit. He cool as hell. And I was like, oh shit, that is him.
Oh my God.
Like he keep them Timbs on no matter what. Like
That
it's
signature look.
he got them shits on. I'm telling you.
Fuck
I
yeah,
just
that's pretty
I could
awesome.
I just got hot thinking about that. No dis no no
Hell
dis no
yeah,
dis
dog.
no no and no disrespect to Prince. He a good one for that.
Yeah.
I just felt like, oh my God, because Tim's at least add like 10 degrees.
Hell yeah. Hell. And it
Yeah,
was
they
hot
definitely
too,
warm
bro.
you up.
It was hot as shit that day too. And I was
Yeah,
like,
like
hey,
right now, you said it's like 104 in Vegas right now. So
yeah, it's 140.
just add the 10, that's 114. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
The big claws
I
hop.
mean, he's probably used to it at this point with how long he's been wearing them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
he's
his brand.
acclimated, okay?
Yeah. I ain't gonna
He's
lie,
probably
like
cold without them.
when I'm like like having a discussion and I'm telling people that's outside of the industry like who he is, like when I say his name, sometimes they don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. When I say, the black dude has been wearing Timberlands and porn for like 20 years, they always go, oh yeah, I know who the fuck you're talking about. Like he's really known for them Timberlands, like for real. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
I know,
fans won't know his name, but they know them damn boots though.
I think I was telling
Yo,
you the other
for
day,
real.
like some people had to have their signature thing that you
Yeah.
always know by them. It's like Prince has the Timbs, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus has the hat. So it's
Yep.
like,
Mhm.
Hell yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
so
So what is your signature thing?
Picking girls up. Like anytime I show up on set, because being the biggest swole dude in the industry, like when I show up on set, the director always says, Trey, you gonna do the pick 'em up thing, right? You gonna pick her up, right? Like
Y'all
even if
do
it's a
that?
blow bang. Yeah, even if it's a blow bang. Like I did a dog part blow bang, and Jim was still like, Trey, you gonna pick her up, right? Like hold her upside down or some shit. I was like, yeah, I
Oh
got
my
you. I got
God.
you. So it's like it don't matter if it's just a BJ scene, they still want me to pick the girls up.
Hey, that's a pretty
Hey, I
awesome
take
trait to
that.
have,
I take
though.
that as a trademark. I take it as a trademark. That ain't too
Hmm.
bad.
So I'm gonna ask this
Exactly.
question. I'm gonna ask this question because it was something I asked you the other day. Like
Yeah,
because like something got on this. I was hanging out with Trey the other day before we went to the AVN house party, and I
yeah.
told him randomly like I read a lot of interviews that people have, and they say the question if you were interviewing a porn star or performer, what would you want to ask them or whatever? And
Mhm.
sometimes these people don't ask that question. However,
Hmm.
however, Trey did an interview and someone asked him that same question, and they didn't answer. They didn't ask him to answer the question. The question was, "What do you think is your like a performer's key to success in the industry?"
Ooh,
Ooh.
good
Yeah,
one.
someone asked you like, "What
Mhm.
question would you ask?" And you
Yeah,
answered that, but they didn't reply. They didn't say, "So, what do you think is?"
true, true.
You probably don't remember
Man,
this interview.
key to success in the industry. Man, I think it kind of depends on shit, a couple of things like your genre that you're in. I think one thing is definitely
Mhm.
focus. Like I think whatever you do, whatever job you have, whatever sports you play, anything you gotta have focus and determination in whatever it is you're doing. I
I
think one
can't
thing
do that.
like
I have no focus.
you got to pray for it, man. You got to pray for focus. Ask God for some stronger focus. You know what I'm saying? Like
Goodness.
one thing my mother said when I told my mother that what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And of course she was against it a little bit at first, and but her knowing me, she's like, son, no matter what you do, you're always focused and go 100% at it, no matter what it is in life, especially if it's something that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like short story, like when my high school coaches, they knew I was good enough to play college football, but some of them thought I wasn't good enough to go to the big colleges. You know what I'm saying? So that motivated the shit out of me to show him and prove him wrong. Like whenever somebody says I can't do something, I'm going
You know,
hard as
so you,
hell at it.
you
You
see,
know what I'm saying?
so you like watch them and
So
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then even in porn, like I always find something to keep me motivated. Like I really do have that Mamba mentality, or like that how Michael Jordan used to think. You know how they used to always say Michael Jordan will find some shit to motivate
Mhm.
him to kill somebody in the game. Like I will find some shit. Like I don't hate. Like whenever somebody even like turns down doing a collab with me and shit, I'm not one of those dudes that gets mad, hateful, and oh fuck that
Mhm.
girl. Da, da, da. I find motivation in it. I'm like, oh, okay, that won't work with me. They will one day. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? So I get motivated by when people turn me down or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I never get mad at it like
I
that. You know?
know. I'm sorry. I just seeing what you just said is like when you said Michael Jordan. So you took that personally. That's that's when I
But
took that
personally, in a
personally.
good way, though. You know
I
what I'm saying?
know. I know. I
Personally, in
know.
a
I
good
know.
way,
I
to
know. I
make me
know. I
find
know. I know.
success. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah. Oh
just
yeah.
what you said back then. Okay,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's
Because it's
and
funny
that
shit.
and that is
Even when we
when
was at
Jordan
the
took
house
that personally.
even when we was at the house party the other day, like I seen a girl there that had like totally been like sort of like acting that same way, you know what I'm saying? And then she seen me at the party sitting at the table and she was waving from across the room, but I didn't think she was waving at me because I'm like, this motherfucker don't even hardly talk to me on social media. And all of a sudden she come across the whole room, Trey, you didn't see me waving at you. And I was like, oh shit, you was waving at me? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, and I was like, okay. So evidently she seen something that made her want to all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're gonna work together soon. And I'm like, damn, I didn't ask you like 3 times if you want to do work, and you sort of always flake me off. But now all of a sudden you met me in person, and I was like, oh yeah, we gotta work. And I'm like, but that's what I mean.
And
Sometimes you just gotta don't get I tell a lot of male talents, don't get frustrated, bro. Just keep doing your grind. Like it's so many girls
mhm.
in the industry like it. Just because that one don't want to shoot with you, then move on and ask the next one. Sooner or later, that one gonna come back and want to shoot with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
One thing I say that I've noticed in this industry is
Mm-hmm.
that people will automatically say all this negative stuff about a performer if they don't work with them at a given time, and they'll say all this negative stuff. I mean, like and it could be a reason for any case,
Mm.
at that time, whatever. So if you take that personally, you're going to put yourself in a situation where they're just going to tell their friends not to work with you, and then
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
you're forever like, oh no, you did this to blah blah, and like
Mm.
sometimes it hurts them, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
However, your reputation is all you have in this industry, and
Mhm.
it could be the barrier of if you're working, if you're not working, or if
mm,
you are just stuck to being a collab person for the rest of your life, you
yeah.
know.
I tell people all the time, man, like you can't take it personally and shit. Like, and then everybody ain't built for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I tell, especially a lot of male talents, hold up, I just lost my train of thought. What the fuck it was I was about to say? Hold on, I'm gonna come back to it. It's just gonna pop back up in my head. It's gonna pop back in my head
You
because
could
it
tell
goes.
we all
Okay,
getting old, we're forgetful.
great for real. But one of the things that I want to say though is consistency is one of the big keys, like first, obviously you have to kind of like stay up with trends and see what's new and what's popping and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you also just have to be consistent with the content that you're posting. For example, if you can only post one video a week, maybe just start off with like a specific day so people know that that specific day, that specific time, you always are going to have something up.
Exactly. And I remember it popped in my head. And Sarah, I don't know if you tell talents this too, but especially new talents when they come in, I try to let them know it's just like any other job. You're not gonna like all your coworkers, and all your coworkers ain't gonna like you. Same as in
Mhm.
sports. Like you don't like you. We ain't never liked everybody on the team. I know I didn't about when I was on college football. I didn't
Exactly.
like all my fucking teammates, but when we crossed that line, motherfucker, let's get this job done and get this win.
Hmm.
But with porn, like everybody not gonna like you. Like you can't just sit there and think, oh, because you just shot five straight scenes, like everybody gonna like you. Nah, it's gonna be females that don't like you. It's just like it's certain male talents that love BBWs and some that like skinny girls. Like everybody ain't gonna like you. Everybody don't like a big muscular black guy. Some motherfuckers want the skinny black guy. You know what I'm saying? Like so, motherfuckers. That's why I say it just shit ain't for everybody. Some got to get past that shit. And if you hold shit like that in your heart and your mind, you're not gonna be good in this industry.
And
Yeah.
one big, huge thing is that people got to realize everybody you are on set with, who you may have
Mhm.
to work with that day, you may not be sexually attracted to that person, but you still
Oh
have to work.
yes, I've been there before.
Yeah, you might not
I've
have
been there.
chemistry.
Like, yeah,
Yo, I
yeah,
see
like it
I've had to
shouldn't.
close my eyes and think of another girl and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't about to miss that check
Bro.
though.
Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
it's
Sometimes it's good that it's a POV scene, because I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't have to look at you.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. It definitely happens. I remember I shot with a girl that was so young, and she looked way younger than my daughter and shit. Like I had to check her ID twice. Like when we was on set, I
Oh my
was like,
God.
and then
That's
like when it was
happened to
time like
me.
to come shot and all that shit, I had to close my eyes and think of somebody else. Like,
Oh my God.
but
yeah,
it's real shit though, because especially being a male talent, when it comes to mainstream, you're not always in charge of who you get booked with. You might not even find out who the fuck
Hmm.
you booked with to the day of the shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. They might
that's when
change
you
them at
gotta
the
be a
last
performer.
minute.
Yeah, that's when you gotta be a
Hmm.
performer. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
yeah, because then like with what you just said, like because you are, over 35,
Hmm.
sometimes you do get placed with people who are 20. And it's
Yeah.
like sometimes it's
Hmm.
like, oh my God,
It's
They
like,
do
man,
are
a
you
whole bunch of
are you
like
sure you're 18?
kink fetish, that stuff.
yeah, like my first ever Black Raw scene, which happened to be with Emma Starletto. Thank God it was with her. But I didn't know who I was shooting with because I was replacing somebody. Like this is when I was still living in LA. This is before the pandemic and shit. And Prince was still my damn agent at the time. And Prince called me up and was like, yo, I need you to get to Hollywood right now to W. It's a scene for Black Raw. And I'm talking about, I'm way in the valley, but I was living in South Central. He was like, you got like an hour to get there. And I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, dude, I'm way out here doing a moving gig and shit like that. He was like, I don't give a fuck what you do, get down there. I'm like, all right, bet. So me and my roommate fly to South Central. I changed clothes. Luckily, Vixen sent the car to pick me up and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time I'm getting ready, I have no idea who I'm shooting with until I got there. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked Prince, was like, who is it with? I don't motherfucking know. Just get your ass there. Da, da, da. And I wasn't about to turn it down because that was my first ever Vixen shoot. You know what I'm saying? So once I got there, luckily it was a beautiful, gorgeous girl sitting on the couch just waiting on me. They had already done Pretty Girls and all that shit. Like I was a plug-in because the male talent that was originally hired got sick on set, started throwing up and all of that. And that's how I ended up getting that scene. But I had no idea who the girl was. I didn't know who the fuck the director was about to be. None of that shit. But I got there, killed the fucking scene. It ended up being like my come out scene where everybody was like, oh shit, like Trey got it. You know what I'm saying? And but that's what I mean. Like you just gotta perform sometimes, man. You can't always be in control of who the fuck you shoot with.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's always interesting going into it because sometimes you're lucky enough to find somebody you work well with, and
Yeah,
you're constantly always getting booked with them, and it
yeah.
makes it so much of a more relaxing shoot.
Oh yeah, hell
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. At that
Yeah.
point, you kind of already like you already know the chemistry that you have with each other. You know
Mm-hmm.
what to do to each other too, you know?
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
the hard part. You
That
know
can
what?
also backfire sometimes too, like because I ain't gonna say too many names on this one, but me and my ex was doing a collab with a female that I had already shot with like over 10 times. So and at that time, me and my ex had just started dating. So I actually had more sex with the person that we was doing the threesome with. So when it was time for me to pop at the end of the collab, like my ex ended up getting mad because like she seen that old girl knew exactly what makes me get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And she started getting a little jealous and shit. So after we was done with the shooting, old girl left. Like I had to hear an earful, bro. Like I'm sitting there like, yo, it's not my fault. She knows my body better than you. Like, man, you just started fucking dating and shit. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. But I learned from that. I will never do that shit again.
you're like,
Oh my
nah.
God. I get
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it still was a fire ass scene. It still sells well on my mini vids and all of that shit. But yeah, it was a headache after the shoot was over with, though.
But still, I'm sure that was worth it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Like I said, it was a good shoot. You know what I'm saying? And the other person, like the one that I shot with over 10 times, like she's a mentor to me as well too. You know, every podcast I always shout her out, Jennifer White, and she's my female mentor. She's taught me so much in this game, taught me the paperwork game and all that shit. I always thank her at any award shows and all of that. So I'm always gonna shout her and Prince out. They're my two mentors.
Yeah,
Hey, that's pretty
I heard
awesome.
you calling her that at the Avian house party when we were
Oh
talking.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
met Jennifer. Oh my God, I'm not gonna say years, but I met her a long time ago. She's
Mm-hmm.
always been a sweetheart. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God, that was a long time ago.
Like she is
Now you're
so
thinking
legit.
about
Like
it.
No,
me
because
and her
I
shot, look, me and her shot an outdoor scene in Compton. Okay, like she's that down, bro. Like I
Yeah.
love that woman, dude. But I'll shoot a motherfucker for Jennifer White. I'm telling you.
I know I met
Okay.
her
That loyalty then.
I met her I think 2013. I met Jennifer White.
Okay, okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a long. That's 11. That's 11.
I met her 2018, my first year in the game.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this. We always ask someone this because
Mhm.
there's always a rotation of
Mm-hmm.
new people coming in the industry. Who are your top five you haven't shot with yet? That's probably newer, older, whatever, that you would like to shoot with.
Hold up,
Mhm.
my top five that I have shot with,
You have not
No,
shot
you
with.
haven't.
That you have
or that I
not shot
haven't
with.
shot with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. I'm gonna start that off with Kelsey Monroe. I've always been a fan of her work before I was even in the industry. Um, so definitely Kelsey Monroe would probably be number one on that list that I haven't worked with yet. Kendra Lust would probably be number two. I was a fan of her work before I was ever in the industry, and she's from Detroit too. So I'm trying to do some Detroit style content with
Detroit
her. You know
what?
what I'm saying?
Detroit what?
Like
I
yeah,
don't,
exactly. Like we watching a Detroit Lions game or some
I don't
shit,
even
and
know
I'm
what I don't
adding
even
a
know what
couple
that's
music or
from.
something. So that those two would definitely be at the top. Um, I would say Jada Stevens, but being Hollywood Cash are like brothers. And I was joking at the parties. So, you know what I'm saying? I told him, I was like, bro, you can't be putting her on my timeline no more now. She my sister-in-law now and shit, bro. Like,
Oh my
so
god.
I gotta take Jada off the list now because she my sister-in-law now. Because me and Hollywood
I
Cash,
can
that's
see
my
that.
brother. You know what I'm saying? But she was on the list. Let me see. Most of my list is probably retired. Like I used to be a huge Kelly Divine fan. But she doesn't shoot anymore, but she is cool as hell. We've talked and stuff like that. But she ever comes out of retirement, throw her on that motherfucking list. Um,
Why?
but there's a few. Let me see. Let me think. Other than those top two, that I haven't worked with yet that I would like to. Um, Shit, I'm trying to think of some of these new names, man, because I've worked with a lot of the ones I wanted to work with that I was fans of before. Um, Damn, that's a good question. I'm probably gonna have to go to some newbies that I haven't worked with now because I'm trying to think of the
That's what I'm thinking,
OG.
like, cause you've been in for a little bit, so like
Yeah.
most of the girls that would be.
Sarah Arabic would be a good one because she's also from Michigan. Me and her haven't worked together yet. That would be a
I have a
good one.
story for you after
And
you
I've
finish.
actually recorded a scene for her, but I haven't worked with her myself. You know what I'm saying? Being
Mhm.
the but I've been behind the camera for her.
She's
Let me see.
gorgeous
That's
and
three.
pretty.
Oh yeah. I've been talking to Mila Milkshake. We might have a
Mm.
collab coming soon. That would be a good one as well too. So me and her discussing what
I met her randomly in an elevator.
word.
No, we were just it was her and her friend
Mhm.
going down, and
Mhm.
they were like, hey, would you mind taking a picture of me and her? I'm like, okay. I took the
Oh,
picture and
oh,
then went.
Savannah Bond I haven't worked with yet as well too. Um,
Ooh.
and let me see one more.
She actually did more
Let's
than five, but go
no,
ahead.
that's because remember I said we had to take Jada off the list. I'm at four right now. Um,
Mhm.
let's go with Blake Blossom. I haven't worked with Blake Blossom yet.
I think that'll be actually a good
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, because
I think
I've been in a movie with her, but we haven't
Mhm.
worked together as far as sex. Like I was an extra in that scene. I was her security guard.
Ooh. Now
Yeah.
you wanna be her
you want to
main
secure her
Well, me and
body.
her talked about it on set. We just haven't made it happen
You're like
yet.
you're like I was your security guard once. Now I want to secure the body.
exactly. But still,
But
like
the
you
thing
got to
is, we
see
have
when she
discussed
works,
it though. You know
how
what I'm
she
saying?
works
Yeah.
in person, and so now
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just like, I gotta get that.
Oh yeah.
So
Like that.
so
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this. So Trey
Mhm.
was at my house, and I always talk about on here how I let everybody who's a performer go through the box, and I'm moving right now, so like the box is like you're like far away. But I told him about what's in the box. Someone went through the box, and the very next day they used what they took out on Sarah Arabrick. That's why I thought about when you said her name. I'm like,
Goodness.
Oh,
they
that
said, yeah.
I already gave away with the gift you gave me out of the box too. The pop rocks.
Oh well, yeah. Oh no, that
Ooh,
wasn't in the box. That wasn't in the box. That was just like in extra stuff around
that
it.
was
Oh, okay,
separate.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
I
there's
gave it to Sammy.
I
so
should have taken some with me when I was there.
there's a box stuff, which is a whole bunch of just toys, and like
Yeah.
'cause I have a lot of dudes stuff, like stuff for dudes, and a lot of stuff for ladies, whatever. And I know because I know the two people who were there, one
Mm-hmm.
took a little double-headed dildo, and the other one took a little sex machine. And someone else came through and took a torso that night.
Well,
Okay.
after the
Actually,
house party.
You got a lot of spicy
uh,
content. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
'Cause
shit! I should have came back after the house party and shit.
I went home with the performer that night. I took them home. Yeah, so they came
Nice.
through.
The way
They,
he says it though.
I know, right? He kept it silent too. He was smart on that
It's like, yeah, I took her home.
one.
And yeah, so they took a torso when they left.
Pimp
Well,
name Slickback.
okay.
You gotta
Side
watch them
note,
Indiana boys, I'm telling
side
you.
note, the name right there, I always put some random stuff at the bottom for my name, thinking. So
Yeah.
that's why it says a pimp
Mhm.
named Slickback. I always change it so it might say something random like, yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
always
Exactly.
I always go extreme.
It's always something
That's
with
why she was
him.
laughing about it when
Oh shit.
she first got in here. Um, but
Hmm.
but yeah, no, like someone took a strap on that was in the box. And they said, yeah, they said it's exactly what I needed. I'm doing the scene with Sarah tomorrow. And we needed this. I was actually gonna go to the store when I left here to go buy one. But
Yeah.
hey, we got one and it was one of the triple dicked ones.
Damn.
Triple dick.
The triple dick.
The
So it's
triple
one.
D. The triple
So
D.
the strap-on one where it goes into the vagina, that other
Mm-hmm.
person penetrating, and the anal of the person penetrating, and then it
Ooh.
has the dildo, the dick going out, so they can do the
So she could
suction.
do it. She could do double vag or double anal with that damn thing.
Technically, yeah.
She
Oh
could be
no
on
no
some.
no! It's yeah. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it flips out. I have no idea. I know it goes this way, like a U, and then
Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
where the butt is. So I don't know if the butt one goes out also. I wasn't. Because I don't like I have a dick, so I don't need to wear it myself.
Yeah.
I didn't too much investigate it.
No
They would
Diddy. No
say,
Diddy.
Now we're too much in thought on it, you know?
yeah,
No
no,
Diddy.
How we're just
yeah, no
thinking about
diddy,
this
no diddy.
boy.
Like
Hey, I am glad. I gotta point something out though. I'm glad you didn't ask me like who was my favorite and none of that to work with. Like I always plead the fifth on every podcast when I get that question. I'm like, you ain't getting me in trouble and shit.
not like
It,
I think like the thing is
it
this.
depends on the mood, you know?
There's
Yeah, yeah.
always
Like I know
like
who my favorites are. I just don't say it because I don't want other girls. Because other girls, like I almost did. Well, I kind of did one time. Like somebody, a fan asked me, but I made a whole list, and I probably
Mhm.
put like 30 names on the fucking list, and I'm thinking, all right, this is gonna be good. Ain't nobody gonna get mad. And then here come a girl like message me, you didn't tag me on the list, and I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, I'm never doing that shit again. I'm just gonna plead the fifth.
Damn.
I think it's hard
Yeah.
because like the thing is it's
Mm-hmm.
like you like there's some people you just work with and
Yeah.
you don't want to get a bad rapport with them
Yeah.
because you might want to work with them again. But then there's
Mm-hmm.
some people like you think the scene went fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However, you don't want to work with them again,
Mm-hmm.
even though you know the scene
Yeah.
went good, and you don't them to think like, hey, he wants to shoot a lot more with me, even though you really, really don't. So it's really
Hell
hard
yeah.
Right? You're just like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
because I know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know, like, both of y'all, since y'all are actually, people that, perform on camera, and do whatever
Mhm.
on camera, like, y'all have those people that, like, you're like, not again, but seeing what
Like I
okay.
said, I know my top favorites right off the top of my dome. I just don't say it in the
Mhm.
No,
interviews. Like I learned
no,
my lesson.
we avoid that question because people
Yeah.
get jealous or upset or
Real,
they
real
feel
quick.
bothered
Mhm.
by it, 'Cause and
Yeah.
it's not
Plus,
really
your favorites change. Your
Mm-hmm.
favorites will change, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the more and more you shoot with certain people, or like sometimes you have a favorite and then you think this like, hold up, you shoot with somebody that's not your favorite, then you get him
Yeah.
again.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, this is better. They were just must have been having a bad day.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, blah
Exactly.
Hell
blah.
yeah.
Like, oh, they're on top of their game. Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
okay, Deborah. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if there's any performer named Deborah, so I think that's a safe one.
I
So
can't think of none either, but it's probably
yeah.
one out there, but I haven't seen it.
It probably is, but it's not someone that anybody would think about.
That sounds like one of them
Mhm.
hot wife names and shit. Like that would be a name of one of them hot wives or something.
Hot wife. That's
Hot
true.
wife Deborah.
Well, maybe a Debbie.
We just gave
I
somebody an
mean,
idea.
there's probably a few Debbies, but not
Yeah.
someone. I mean, I don't. The thing is, I don't. I'm gonna say this.
Hmm.
I shouldn't say that, and I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna
I'm not gonna say
I'm
it.
gonna get someone named Deborah out here that's gonna be listening to the podcast. I do not like how you talked about, people named Deborah, and I feel offended. And I don't want
Leave
Did
out
we
to.
that.
find it, Deborah?
And the thing is, since
Ooh,
we don't know people's real name,
yeah.
it's probably a performer. Real name is
I just started
Deborah.
finding out that some of these
That's
new performers
true.
are using their real names and shit. Some of the new ones.
Oh, that's
I know,
true.
I know a lot of people who use either their middle name or a part of their first name, or they use
Mhm.
their last name. Yeah,
Cause I'm
like
a third,
you.
I'm a third for real. Like that's part of the tattoo. Like I'm a third for real. I'm named after my dad and my grandfather, so that's where the Trey comes from. So I really went with like my nickname for real, Big Trey. I'm really a big dude for real, and
Yeah,
Trey, like they were thinking the big, oh, because your cock or your dick. And I'm like, nah, I've been a
I'm
big
just a
dude
big guy.
since high school. Like that's where it came from.
I mean, like I've been using this
Yeah, it's a pretty
nickname
good name
since.
though.
Yeah, I remember Prince was like, you gotta come up with a stage name. And I started thinking like, all right. I didn't want no corny ass porn name like Long Dong or some shit like that. So I was
Hmm.
like, let's go with my real nickname. Like I only had one teammate in football that actually called me Trey because I was a third. So I was like, well, shit, that'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going with like Little Joe or some shit.
Little
That
joke.
makes sense.
I mean, that's my
No,
real name.
so so check this out. Somebody I used to use like when I first did anything in the industry, it was like extra work, whatever, and I
Hmm.
wrote a name down, and they just completely ignored that name. I've been using the name Raw since 1996. I didn't do
Nice.
anything in the industry till '08, so they heard that name and preferred
Mm-hmm.
saying this name over saying I used the letter like ecstasy, the letter
Mm-hmm.
X, letter T, letter C. So Mr. Ecstasy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was creative. Like I called my best friend when I was on the set, like, I need a stage name, give me one. And she said that, and I'm like, bet.
Oh
And
shit.
I
Goodness.
wrote it down, and then people heard Raw Star sounds much better. And they just called me that. And I'm like, okay, well, F it. It
Ooh,
sounds
X
like
Big,
would be
Big
a
been in
good
my name for
DJ
a long
name.
time, man.
you
Like
said,
like I said, my real name is Joe, so I've been called Big Joe for the longest. When I used to do celeb security, Big Joe. So all I did was take my real name out and just put Trey on there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's a
like
lot
I've done
easier.
security for all the celebs and rappers you can fucking think of, even Diddy. No, I was
I
not there for the crazy Diddy shit, but I've done security for Diddy before.
I did security for one rapper, and I was just telling my friend this like today because
Mm-hmm.
he used the rapper in one of his Instagram reels, and I said, "Did I tell you like they forced little old me to be security for this rapper? Even though if anybody ran up to me and just like jumped at me, I would say, do what you got to do. Like I'm non-violent. I had to be security for Mr. Cheeks.
Oh yeah, the Lost Boys.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like when they told me I had to do this, I'm like, me?
The
Like
Lex Coops, the Beamers, and the
it
Bands.
is like I was a lot smaller. Like I'm like 190 now. So back then I was like one like 58. And
Was
I'm like
Freaky Ty still alive back then?
this was 2005.
I can't remember what year he passed away. Freaky Ty, that was with the
It
Lost
was, but
Boys.
it was just for Mr. Chick. It was like right after Lights Camera
Mhm.
Action came out and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm
Hmm.
like,
That's around the same year I got into security. You know what I'm saying? Like my first security gig, believe it or not, was with I did security for Bobby Brown back when Whitney was still alive.
oh
Oh
wow.
shit.
Yeah. Bobby was cool as shit, man. Very humble dude, bro. Very humble dude.
I've only
Um,
met I met some other people from New Edition, but I haven't met him.
yeah. I got war wounds from doing security, bro. Like, look at this shit.
Yeah, I know you told me you got
Damn.
shot.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, I was doing
is
security for
that
Lil
really when you
Boosie.
fail?
Yeah, I was security for Lil Bootsy, and I fell off the front of the stage because somebody started shooting, and we was trying to get him out of the building, and I landed like in a plank position on my and tore the triceps and tendons off the bone on both arms at the same
Jesus.
time. Yeah, yeah. The documentary is on YouTube. It's a documentary on YouTube. That's me coming
Sarah
back. I
Sarah
had I
Filter.
had full arm cast on both arms at the same time. So it was like I couldn't even wipe my own ass. I couldn't feed myself or none of that shit. So this dude in North Carolina did a documentary on me coming back from that injury.
Damn.
See,
That
Okay.
shit was humbling. That shit was humbling.
See,
You
and
talk
that,
about
that
being
Yeah.
a grown ass man, all of a sudden your parents got to bathe you again because you can't wash your own ass. Like,
yeah,
man.
like when I had recovered from the surgery when I couldn't use my entire right side, my
Mm-hmm.
mother had to. My mother called me bougie as heck because no, because like I could only use my left hand, and like I do not like the skin of an apple.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking her to peel the apple skin for me.
Yeah.
And like she's like, I'm not about to spill no apple for you, you bougie.
Scared at least cut it up for you. Like,
God.
She
take the
cut it
skin
up.
off, at least cut it
She
up.
cut
Yeah.
she did it. She did it, but like she gave me an earful first.
Mhm.
It's gonna be
Man,
She's
I
like
had I had my
spoiled.
nephews was feeding me, family members, even friends from the gym would come through, give my parents a break, and they would help feed me and shit like that. I remember my homeboy that was actually with me when the injury happened and shit. He came and picked me up from the house and took me to a steakhouse and shit, right? And
Mhm.
so, like I said, I'm in the full arm cast. He tells the waitress to make sure that the chef cuts the steak up real small for me. And so my homeboy was feeding me across the table, man. Like not on no Diddy shit or none of that, man. It was just that I couldn't
every
feed
day,
myself.
yeah.
And I remember the waitress going, "Oh my God, that is such real friendship right there." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had
Mhm.
a lot of. That's who I found out who my real friends were and who wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
Yeah.
you always do because I know just from like when I was recovering, whatever, who actually
Mm-hmm.
came and visited me in the
Yeah,
hospital at the time. Because
yeah.
like my mom was only there for like 2 months, but I
Mm-hmm.
was recovering, like I was in deep recovery for like 5 months.
Yeah,
And then I was in the brace for a full freaking year. So like it
yeah.
made me it brought the realization of like who I would who I want to be around at that
Mm-hmm.
time and who I shouldn't be around at the time.
That was another situation when I used Mamba mentality because the doctors told me number one, I would never bodybuild again, and number two, it'd be a year till I live like a normal person again. I said, fuck that. Y'all don't know who I am. So in 9 months, I was back, no, 10 months. In 10 months, I was back on the bodybuilding stage and won first place.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Boss
After the
mode.
motherfuckers told me I would never compete again, I was like, what? All right.
You're like, watch me.
They fitted me for a wheelchair.
And you showed
Yeah.
their ass.
Like
Hell yeah.
I don't even like I have a cane. Don't get me wrong, I have a cane, but I do not. Sarah can tell you because she's always around
Mhm.
me. She knows that I hate using or hate even grabbing that damn thing unless
Yeah.
I really
Mhm.
really need it.
I
And
think I've only seen you use it maybe once or twice since I've known you, and I've known you since my day one in the industry and shit. Like I think I met you in my
if
third month in
you
the industry.
if you see me at Jake's house, sometimes I have it. I think I had it
Mm-hmm.
one time at Jake's house, and if I have to like, if you saw me at Vice is Nice, I think I had it then
Yeah,
too.
and R.I.P. Jake,
Anywhere
man.
where he's near a hill, I feel like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know my limits, but that's what's I know my limits. So there's a question
Same
that
here, man.
is a question that I did want to ask, and I asked this to you, and I said I want to save it for later.
Yeah.
And I said I think I told Sarah we're gonna ask this to everybody who comes on because I think it's a good question. What's the craziest thing that happened to you while you're on set, or the craziest thing you've seen on
Ooh,
set?
ooh. Now, which one do I choose from? Is the which is the best?
I know.
Man, it's so many. Like I've had where we doing anal and all of a sudden a bunch of shit pops out of a girl. Um, I've had crazy shit where the lights then went haywire on set, and then we end up taking like an hour break, and that's after we had already got like 12 to 15 minutes of the scene done. Um, I remember one of the first. This ain't the craziest thing, but this one I realized like shit can change so fast. I think it was my second or third scene in the industry, and Prince had told the directors and them like, "Yo, he's taller and bigger than me." You know what I'm saying? And the directors didn't believe it. Like, no, Prince, nobody in the industry is bigger than you. Da da da, and this and that. And I'm talking about like
Bill,
size,
yeah.
right? So I show up on set. Then they tell us that they want us to be delivery men and shit like that, like we work for UPS or something. So I bring clothes like that to set. I get there, the director finally sees me in person and he says, "Holy shit, you are bigger and taller than Prince. Fuck this shit. Take all the lights back into the gym. We're going to change this whole scene. He's going to be her personal trainer. That's what the fuck we're going with now." So I'm
Oh
sitting
my
there. Luckily,
God,
I had some
yes.
like, yeah, luckily I had some gym clothes in my luggage and shit, and I was able to damn put that on. But they just changed the whole script and everything right there when they first met me. It was like, "Oh, this motherfucker really got big muscles and shit. Oh, fuck that. He's the trainer. We ain't doing the delivery guy shit."
Fucking
I
awesome
was like,
though.
"Wow, y'all changing just like that in this industry, huh?" Like,
I
I
oh
mean,
think
man.
I love when they're able to do stuff like that, because
Mhm.
sometimes they're like, oh, well, fuck it. We still have to run with it.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah,
Because there
hell yeah.
was one time where, um, mind you, they they wanted to make sure that he picked us up during the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, we were sneaking in through the back. They wanted us to basically climb a window, still on the first
Mm-hmm.
floor, but they wanted us to climb a window, even though that window was right next to a glass door. And
Oh,
we were just kind of like, guys, please don't
that's
make us do
dangerous.
this.
That's
So
dangerous.
So eventually, all three of us kind of put our foot down. We're just like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, there's a
Mhm.
perfectly good door right there. Like, we're
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
go through the sliding door. Then he'll pick us up, give us a kiss, and leave it at that. And then
Mm-hmm.
he'll obviously pick us up when we're fucking. But we were just kind of like, oh, we're not climbing through a window. Like,
Yeah.
no. Plus, what if the neighbors see?
Oh yeah, hell
yeah,
yeah,
neighbor,
yeah. Because
neighbor,
neighbors are some shit
especially,
real.
especially, especially especially if y'all are in a skirt, you're not wearing underwear, and you get stuck for a second, and
Mm-hmm.
they just happen to look as soon as you're climbing through, they get a full view of the cooter and the booty at the same time. It's like,
Oh
Exactly.
oh,
man,
damn.
I have been on set where I guess the neighbors called the police on us and shit. I
Mhm.
can't remember what company it was, but we was out there shooting in LA. And yeah, we was getting ready to start the scene. All of a sudden, we heard a knock at the door, and the fucking LAPD was at the fucking door and shit.
Oh goodness.
Like, god damn, dog.
They didn't take y'all down, did they?
No, 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 no. We just made sure. I don't know if somebody was outside talking on the smoke break real loud or some shit, but we just made sure everybody stayed inside the shoot house. You know what I'm saying?
That makes
But yeah, that was
sense.
interesting.
I remember that like people are so sensitive to people just walking around if you're doing
Mm-hmm.
a hotel shoot because
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say names, but we were doing a girl like photo shoot first before we
Mm-hmm.
did the sex whatever, and literally we were just like walking back and forth, and it was only about like 10:30 at this time,
Yeah.
and like the person below us kept calling the damn like the hotel like they're being too loud. And the
Mm-hmm.
security came to the door, and I'm like, this is how loud we are. It's like nothingness. And then he left and
Mhm.
came back and complained again. I'm like, do you hear anything? They said, I don't. He said, I don't. But they're
Oh,
complaining below you. I'm like, we're not making no freaking sounds.
yeah.
Sarah remembers that. I'm
I do
sorry.
got another crazy story that I just remembered to answer that question too. This is back when like we was just starting to come off of the COVID shit and we could all get back to shooting. And me and my ex, you know what I'm saying, we went out to LA for a shoot. Me and her got booked a lot together at that time because that was around the same time with the George Floyd and Black Lives Matter movement was going. And we was like the biggest name black couple in the industry and shit like that. So this is one of the scenes where me and her are booked together. And
Mhm.
so in the scene, before we get to the sex and shit, like the company rented like this Aston Martin and everything that I'm driving and I'm picking her up and all this and I'm doing tricks in the car. So y'all know those tunnels in downtown LA that gets used for a lot of movies and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we coming through the tunnel and the directors and them they riding in their car on the side of it and they recording her pulling her boobs hanging out the window and all that shit and everything. And so this fan, well, I'm just gonna say civilian pulls as we on a break, pulls up on the side and it's like, "Hey man, y'all shooting a movie and everything." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And the fan says, "Oh, it's for fans only or something, huh?"
Oh my God. Oh. Well,
Like this
he's
is like
not
three,
wrong. At the
four.
end of the day,
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
this is like 3 or 4 in the morning in fucking downtown LA too at that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a lot of traffic, which is what made it real easy to do that part of the scene. But that shit was fucking hilarious, man. He just pulled up, was like, "Oh, y'all shooting for fans only, huh?"
Goodness.
Oh man.
Oh my God. I've
But
never I've never been in an incident where a fan saw what I was like what we were doing, but I think it's been a play like a place where one probably assumed we
Mm-hmm.
were doing that like in that same suit, in that same thing because it was me and two beautiful women. And
Mm-hmm.
no, there's no possible way that I could pull those two women. So it's like, oh,
mhm.
don't agree with me. Don't
Son, I've
agree.
said
Oh
before
damn.
that you've got game.
No,
You
no, no,
always
no. I'm
say
talking about
you don't, so I'm just
you
gonna
just,
agree with
you
you.
just insulted
He
me.
has
You just,
random
you.
girls sending him nudes, just casual, like, hey, look at this. And he's
No,
still like, oh no, I can't pull two girls. Yes, you
no,
can.
Hell
no, no, no,
yeah.
no, no, no.
Look
I
at
said
all look
these.
at all his pictures
I
from the
said,
party the other night.
I said two beautiful women, and then I said I can't pull these two beautiful women. Then you go, uh-huh. Like, well, damn. Like, okay, I'll
It's
just
all
go
in
back to my
confidence,
living.
man. You know that. It's
No,
all in
It's
confidence.
a sarcastic,
I'm messing with her. But like, but no, to answer your question, I can't help that people just send me random nudes. They do it. They've been doing it for years since I was in in college. Like people who not even porn performers. It's like, hey, raw. Oh, that's your titties and that's your vagina. Nice.
he's got game, okay?
I have
Like, he can't say
I
he
have I
doesn't.
have I have I
Oh
have
yeah.
zero game.
Oh
I
yeah.
have zero game. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like
Man, you from the Midwest, man. Stop
no,
it.
Exactly. Come on.
I am the most prudish, laid back, ungang person y'all know.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never been one of those dudes that use game. I just, if you don't like me for being me, then it is what it is. Like, I've had women tell me that I'm too brutally honest and shit like that. And I'm like, would you rather I fucking lie to you or something?
Well,
Like,
no,
Right? You're
let me be
just
honest.
like,
Let me be honest really quick. Like, I think because like I'm not that typical person that always makes it seem like I'm trying to have sex with you, or
mm-hmm.
mhm.
a type of person that may just it's just laid back, being like, yeah, I'm just raw. Like I'm here, and I'm just that chill person. So they find that somewhat attractive, whatever. But
Yeah.
as people say, I got gang for that, but it's just because they're comfortable enough to send me all that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, you know.
Mhm.
Then
I mean, but you've been
or
in the industry for a long time, bro. So like,
I'm talking about people that's not even in porn.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, shit, fans
Yeah.
do that. Like, I had a fan
No, this
send
is
me.
not even fans. This is people
Oh,
who
I
just
had a
know me.
female fan send me some nudes just yesterday and shit. She's like, "You're my dream. Like, whenever my husband comes too quick, I watch your films and shit." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's what's up." And she's fucking hot too. I can't lie. Like, I was like, "Damn."
I
Okay.
remember someone, this is someone that's on the East Coast that just
hmm
says, I think they said my girlfriend name. This is what I know. So what do you think of this? Oh, that's nice. Knowing that I would never have sex with this person. It's just like, okay, different
Yeah.
angles. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
you're just sending me news. Okay, that's okay.
He's like,
Nice.
it's what's going on now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh yeah.
let me go back to watching anime with Sarah. This girl just sent me news. Who? Some random girl I know in this world. Okay.
hmm
Is he cute?
What episode we on?
Right? Exactly. I feel
And
like
I
that's the question I always ask. Is she cute though?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't call the thing is like everybody has their own distinct thing of beauty. And there's some girls who I don't find like physically attractive, but they have nice bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and who
Mhm.
and since you know, yeah. And if you want to sit it, I'm gonna say, exactly what I think about it, you
Yeah.
know, even
I
though
mean, I've
I'm
met
like,
women where I was physically attracted to them from when I'm first seeing them. Then as I got to know them, like quick turn off started hitting and shit. I'm like, man, fuck this shit.
Mhm.
Oh,
You're like,
shit. Yeah, yeah.
The Temptations told us that Beauty's only skin deep.
True,
Hey, that
true.
is temptation.
No, that's the song, Beauty's only skin deep. And even
Motown,
though
baby.
I made a joke because like someone shared the song by Prince, and they said
Hmm.
Prince is the only guy to say you don't got to be beautiful to turn him on. And I'm like, well, wait a second, y'all. Temptation got the song calling a girl ugly the entire song. They are. They kept repeating. Like he said, you're not cute, but you
Yeah.
got a nice personality.
I
That's
mean,
what
it's a
that,
lot of women
that
out there that I don't find sexy that some people do. Like, I ain't
no,
gonna
just talking
lie.
about the
I'm scared
song.
to say it. Like that rapper Sexy Red. She is not sexy to me, yo. Like
Mm-mm.
that mug is not sexy to me. I don't see what the fuck dudes are saying to that girl. And her songs are garbage. Like, I'm sorry, I said it, y'all. Them shits is garbage.
There's a lot of performers that people like Google over.
Hmm.
And I just don't get it. There's a lot of performers. A lot of people. Like I think I was talking to you when I said this. That a lot of performers that are out here that I personally don't get it.
Hmm.
But
Mhm,
to each their own.
True,
mhm.
true, true. Yeah.
Because
I
I
can
don't
see
know.
that. Yeah.
It's
Everybody has.
man, Sarah, I gotta ask you this one. Like, when somebody reaches out to you and is like wanting to collab and shit, and this, I'm saying this from even before, like when you're still doing collabs and stuff.
Mhm.
What was one of your go-tos where you'd be like, damn, I really don't want to shoot with this person? Like, did you just straight out tell them like, no, you're not really my type that fits my brand and everything? Or did you like sort of like sugarcoat it a little bit?
At first, I would like sugarcoat it, but then like
True, true.
nowadays, I would kind of just tell them like, well, not nowadays, but like after a while, I would start being like, hey, just to be honest with you, like, hey, this is what my brand is. This is what I'm doing. You don't really fit my brand.
Yeah.
Or I will say, sometimes it'll be they don't have enough of a following base. They
Hmm.
haven't shown that they've grown their own content without somebody,
Hmm.
because some guys only grow their content by filming with other girls. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, but that's not all there is to male talents. You got to be able to like sometimes it's just about how you promote yourself,
Hmm.
how what variety of content you've created and stuff like that. So I'll just tell them like, hey, you don't have enough good quality content yet,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I like that answer. I like that one.
you
Yeah.
don't have enough of a variety. Sometimes the niche just isn't the same,
There's
because
one. There's one
some
thing I
people
want to
just
put
do
out there.
sex tapes and they're like, hey, let's do content. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that you just created a sex tape. Like, I see the tripods everywhere in the background. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
There's
Go
one
ahead.
That's
big
not
thing I'm
what
gonna
I'm
tell
selling.
everybody. Get like don't use only the light in the room if you want to do anything in this industry.
Hmm.
Get some light, like spend money to make money
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
longevity. Buy
Yeah.
yourself some lights. They
You
don't
got to
cost that.
invest in.
They don't cost that much because sometimes
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can just use some ring lights, but you
Hmm.
get to use some studio lights, light it like think of it as the 3 point light system, whatever.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You can just use one camera, but make
Yeah.
sure you got it at a good angle so everybody can see some stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Learn how to cheat out so
Hmm.
everybody can see everything because like
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta move your hip.
most people
Yeah.
know how to have sex. Most people don't know how to have sex with a camera.
So
So
yeah, performance.
yeah,
Mhm.
you got to realize that like when you're having sex on camera, the person watching is the camera. So the camera
Hmm.
is the eye.
Yeah.
Okay. It's because you want to, freak somebody.
Your nut off and shit.
Mhm.
And then you got to realize like if you're doing this, you got to be able to, hold your semen
Yeah.
in for a little bit. You just you can't
Mhm.
nutting like every 5 seconds. Like, oh, I gotta stop. You know,
Yeah.
it's a talent to it. And then
Yeah, and
if
I
you
know I do
realize,
research on girls. I do a lot of research, like because I think because of coming in the game under so many, legendary mentors. Like I said, Prince, Jennifer White, Manuel being a good mentor, Isaiah Maxwell. So it's like I do research because I even tell some of these new talents, because some of these new talents, they get so into, oh, this person doesn't have a ton of followers. It's more like they looking for the clout part of it. But I'm like, no, do the research, because sometimes people's pages get stolen or get kicked off of Instagram and they starting a new one. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at just then some people go buy followers. You know what I'm saying? And then you look like, oh, they got 100K followers, but they might have bought them motherfuckers too. Then they get on set, realize this motherfucker cannot perform, don't know what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? They really just humping for a goddamn nut instead of trying to perform and shit. So I'm like, always do your research and find out. Because I've had girls, like, especially when I had to redo my second Twitter, and I'm reaching out to a girl for a collab. She's like, oh, you don't have enough followers. And I did my research on her, and I'm like, bitch, you only been in the game 2 months. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, I got AVN nominations and all types of shit. Like, you gotta check the resume. What the fuck is you talking about?
Exactly.
And then come to find out, one of the homeboys that I asked about her that had worked with her, he was like, bro, don't shoot with her. She's fucking terrible, bro. Like, she can't perform. Her head is terrible, this and that, da. And I was like, oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, gave me some honest feedback and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say two things really quick. Like, one, I did it. I know of somebody in this industry that has been in for a little bit, but still does not understand that you should not stare at the camera while
Oh
you're
my God.
shooting.
Didn't we talk about that at your house the other
Yeah,
day too?
and that's why I'm not saying names. But you shouldn't
Are
stare at
you
the
I put
camera.
a
talking
list
about
of those.
me?
Yep.
You
Huh?
staring the camera, Sarah?
No, I'm not talking about Sarah.
Just kidding.
I'm
I
not
mean,
talking
for
about.
solos, of course,
So
if
like,
I'm doing a jerk off instructions, like if you have to know when the video calls for it. That's the thing. All
see,
the POV style stuff, like
this is
that's
what
why
this.
you sitting there looking at the camera. Oh yes, daddy, do this to me. Blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah, counting you down. But
I
no,
was I
in
was
general,
telling I was telling like them, I said the only time you should be looking at the camera is if the camera is representing a person. So a
mhm,
JOI, you're talking to somebody. If like for example, it's a whatever type of scene, and like you're like say like it was like a husband watching his wife like a cuck
Mm-hmm.
video and the camera is supposed to be the cuck watching, or
Yeah,
like oh
I've
step
done that.
brother,
Those are
oh
fun.
brother, step brother, you saw you caught me, is this
yeah.
what you like? You're talking to him, so him is the camera. Any other
Mhm.
time you should not look at the camera at all. The camera is watching you,
Yeah.
yes, but it is not a humanoid person. You got to
It's like,
realize that.
oh, I was about to say, one time I did tell a girl on set, you know what I'm saying? I was like, and I used the funny example. I said, you ever seen Game of Thrones? She was like, yeah. I said, when you watch a Game of Thrones, are they looking in the goddamn camera? She's like, no. I was like, then it's the same shit. We making a movie here. We just happen to be having sex. Stop looking in the goddamn camera like that.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And also one other thing, before you shoot with someone, make sure you, like as you said earlier, do your research on them.
Yeah.
Because again, this is gonna hint on the conversation me and you had the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like our performer was saying, like, yeah, I was supposed to work with, and they said the person's name, and everybody in the house, it was like four other people was like, no,
Yeah,
no,
everyone's like,
no.
ooh.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You
I
know
remember
what?
No.
exactly what you're talking about too. I remember exactly what you're talking
And
about.
it's like it's crazy because like I was in the shower and I opened the door. I was like, no, and
Yo,
the
he
person
ain't
was
lying.
the
Like
person was in the back
everybody,
room.
even CJ was in his room. He came in the back room getting dressed. He came out the back room, was like, "What? Hell no!"
Oh my God.
Like everybody was over there. Like Chris was over there. Me and Chris was the first two in the living room talking to her. When she said the name, me and Chris both went, "Oh shit! Hell no! Don't do that!"
So
I most
He was
likely
like, "So I dodged
either
the
have
bullet,
this
huh?" It's
person
like, "Oh yeah,
blocked
you
or
dodged a
am
big ass
blocked by
bullet."
this person.
Yeah.
I'm 95% sure you have this person blocked.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure of that shit too.
mhm.
Oh
so
shit.
So I would want to ask you this though before we go to the ending part of this. What's next for Trey?
Oh man, the next thing I'm
Yeah.
working on is bringing my fitness YouTube channel back. But it's gonna be
Ooh.
different than when I was in the bodybuilding world. This time I'm gonna incorporate more porn stars, especially porn stars that like to go to the gym. Like this gonna be clean shit too. So it's like I said, it'll be on YouTube. So it'll be like us going to the gym, working out, maybe having conversations, almost like a working out podcast. Like I might ask them questions during our workout, shit like that. You know,
Mhm.
have conversations. I mean, it'll be sexy too. Like I might tell the camera guy, make sure you get zoom in on her butt when she's squatting and stuff like that, because we still want to keep the fans coming and stuff like that. And I'm also having male talents on there working out with me and shit, and we get it in, talk about different little stuff and everything. So that's one of the next things I'm working on.
Okay.
Nice. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I already have kind of started a YouTube for yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of doing yoga and Q&As, like
Oh,
two separate times kind of vibe.
yeah.
Kind of Sundays is like a slow flow yoga vibe, but
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays is kind of like a workout Wednesdays. So
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of like squats and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
Fridays
Nice.
are flexibility Fridays. So I'm doing a lot of like splits. And so one of the things that I've started to do, or at least I'm thinking of doing,
Mm-hmm.
is have a safe for work and a not safe for work version. You
Yeah.
know,
I like that. I like that. I like
hmm
that.
have one
Definitely,
for
like some of the
have
girls would
one
be
for
one
you.
that I collab with, and we could use the workout intro into the collab as well too.
Exactly. I like the idea of having something for YouTube and then something for like Pornhub or for our OnlyFans, for example,
Oh
Like
yeah.
if it's a long, like 30-minute video or 30-minute or an hour workout,
Mm-hmm.
then just end up getting just 10 minutes of it, posting that on Pornhub and have
Yeah.
that be your promo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. I like
Hmm
that. Hell yeah.
And
Exactly.
also,
It's
I
a
know you
little
also.
more editing, but still, it's worth it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to get you on, since you're a gym kid. I'm gonna have to get you in the episode. You know what I'm saying? Where we hit the gym
Mhm.
or something like that. Whenever you're in Vegas or LA, and we just
Yeah,
go
that'd
hit
be
the
pretty
gym, just
awesome.
have like a conversation. I get to ask you some questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I do a
That'll be
lot of
dope.
like lean yoga kind of
Hmm.
vibes.
Yeah. Then you can teach
Mhm.
me some yoga in the video too and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. How to
Hell
warm up
yeah.
before a
I like,
workout.
yeah. I like that idea. Yes,
Heck
sir.
yes. Fuck yes. Here we are coming up with ideas and shit.
Exactly. See, great minds think alike.
So,
Right? Exactly.
but Mr. Trey,
I
I look
love that.
forward to all that you do in the future. It's always been a pleasure ever since I met you. X Straight, no, it was XRCL, right?
XRCO Awards in
XRCL.
2018, I think it was.
Crazy thing is, I met Sarah and first time in person at XRCL Award.
Exactly.
It's one of those
That's because
awards
that's
where
where you
the
gotta go.
fans ain't there and shit, so we all get to like kick it just ourselves and you know what I'm
Hmm
saying,
But I think
network at the
it was
same
more like
time.
who's this random dude just walking up to me? Talking about you,
I
Sarah.
was like, oh.
Oh, the last thing I want to say, man, and this goes out to the new talents out there and shit. When we have AVN house parties, realize that shit is for networking. It is not a regular. When they say house party, it is not a motherfucking real house party. If you meant to go to network, like all the big dogs are there, all the damn directors, the owners and shit, the 8 people that work for AVN, like it is a networking joint. Like, don't show up thinking this shit is like get fucked up party. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit, we
Mhm.
think all three of us have seen a lot of careers end from people going to the damn parties and getting stupid.
Ooh, I get it. Sometimes I'll just get like tipsy and we'll end up making out with somebody.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this no,
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's
as far as I go,
XR like the XRCO. Yes, we've seen something about the AVN house party. I don't know if you've been to
Mhm.
that or not.
I think I've only been to one of those, but usually when I go to like house parties that are for actual like, for companies that are hosted but like for stuff like that, I always think about it like you are your brand. Like you have
Yeah.
to be that anytime you're out there in public, like you're always mingling, like you don't you don't show your ass, like
Yeah.
just in a bad way. Like it's always about kind of trying to stay sober enough to kind of
Mhm.
keep a clear head and kind of know what you're saying and who you're
Yeah.
saying it
A lot of
I'm
my
with
first bookings came from just networking at that house party. Like a lot of
to.
people would call Prince just off of that. Like Prince would hit me up as soon as I got back to Vegas, be like, "Yo, so and so called me. They want to book you. They said you knew how to handle yourself at the party. You was walking around networking. You wasn't getting fucked up and all this and that shit." So especially a lot of my first dog part and Brazzer scenes and shit came from just networking at that AVN house party.
Hey, that is pretty awesome though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when you know how to use it right.
Exactly. See, that's what comes from being in the fitness industry and having to sell myself as a trainer and knowing how to talk to people, you know what I'm saying? So that helped out a lot.
I can see that.
so before we end, first off, hi girl, whoever's behind Trey right now. I see you walk by. And
Huh?
the girl just walked by you. I just said hi, whoever the girl
Oh,
is you're
Sammy,
dating.
that was my roommate Sammy earlier. Yeah.
Hi, Sammy.
Oh
But
shit. Okay.
real quick, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram at It's Real Big Trey. You can find me on Twitter or X now at The Real Big Trey. On my what you call those links? The link tree is on both of those pages to where you can get to my Pornhub pages, mini vids, OnlyFans, Amazon wish list, all of that good shit.
Like yeah, that's
Hell
awesome.
yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Sarah, where can they find you really quick?
You guys can find me on iamsarahLace.com. All of my links and my social medias are going to be on there.
You can find us
Yeah.
at the Burbank Misfits on Instagram, Burbank Misfits on X, and burbankmisfits.com. That has everything that we do.
Yeah.
I'm RAWSTARR on Instagram and on Twitter. Trey, Big Trey, thanks for coming on again. Thanks for
Oh
saving
man,
us
appreciate having me,
because
bro. I
we had
appreciate
a
being a
thanks
guest
for coming
again.
in.
That
Thanks for
means a
coming
lot. You know what
in.
I'm saying? That means a lot to be a guest for a second time.
Thanks for coming in
Can't wait to see
clutch.
you at Urban X Awards for sure. We got to
Oh
kick it.
yeah, yeah, and so good luck on your nomination,
And good luck on yours
Yes,
too.
and yeah, and you
right.
too,
Good luck to
Sarah.
all three of us.
Like which
Hell
one?
yeah,
Which
let's
one are
all
you up
come home
for?
with some trophies.
Which one are
Right.
you up for?
I'm up for stud of the year.
All right, good luck on Stud of the
Okay.
Year, Miss Sarah Lace, who has fantastic oral skills. Good luck, good, good luck on
Jesus.
that. And since she's the other half of
God
this
is good.
podcast, good luck on the podcast for this. And best photographer, me. So I will see you all
And I
next
gotta
week.
say, y'all two make a good combo on this podcast game too.
Oh,
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
because
that.
hell yeah.
because
Yeah.
because because Sarah is that
Yeah.
sex, that eye candy, and she's smart and she's funny.
Every great podcast has eye candy. Look at Joe Button's got Melissa Ford on there. You know what I'm saying? Like every podcast got good eye candy.
Yeah, and,
Exactly.
and
That's
And
why I haven't
when
started one yet. I ain't found a good female eye candy to do a podcast with me yet.
and she's huggable.
yeah, I'm so cuddly.
uh,
She's
I
cuddly.
haven't hugged Sarah yet. Are you gonna be at Urban X Awards?
Yes, I'll be
I'm gonna
there.
get my hug there. I'm gonna get my hug at Urban X.
We
Get my
gonna
first hug.
Yes.
All right, we see you all next week. Be well, stay blessed, and
All
stay
right, bro.
ready.
All right, Sarah, y'all be good.